Hi, I'm 707, and welcome to part 6 of my Dragon Quest VIII walkthrough. And we're on our way. Well, we're supposed to be on our way to the Waterfall Cave right now, but I'm on the way up to this mountain to do a little side quest, I guess you could say. And in the last video, we were on the topic of skill points, and about skill points. They are very... I mean, you can do whatever you want. If you want the boss battles, if you're having a lot of trouble with boss battles, or you think you will, whatever, and you want my help with those, then skill points are very... They have a lot to do with that. In other words, if I have a certain strategy for a boss battle, that's due to the skills that I decided to attribute to my characters. So therefore, you might have an entirely different playing preference for your skill points. Me personally, I like to have the boomerangs for the hero, and then have axes for Yengus. So hold on, storyline coming up here, so I have to comment on that. Okay, you come up to this old man's house, at the top of this hill, search the bags. Seat of agility, very nice. And a phial of holy water. And that repels weaker monsters from your party. Very useful. Okay, so he wants a favor. Say yes. Left his tool bag by the red tree. So he wants you to go fetch it for him, and he'll have a little reward for you if you do so. So, leave his house. Turn over here, look at the east, and you should see the red tree back in the background there. It's a little bit hard to see on this video, but if you do it in your actual game, you can see it pretty easily. Okay, so we're gonna head towards there. So now I can continue what I was saying before. Yeah, I like to use boomerangs on the hero, and axes with Yengus. But on the hero, I also, for boss battles, like to use spears. I'm not really into swords or fisticuffs for anybody. None of the 4 characters I ever use that. Yengus, I'll give him some points for it, but that's just because there's nothing else to spend it on. And then like the things like courage, humanity, stuff like that, those are, I use those a little bit. So just if you want to follow what I do, it's what I've come to like over several times of playing through this game. But if it doesn't fit your personality at all, like a lot of people like to use the swords, then that's fine too. Secondly, I noticed in the videos I've already uploaded to YouTube, I had a lot of trouble with my voice for the commentary. It was very low, and it was hard to hear above the sound of the game. So I've changed my settings, and from now on that should be okay. I lowered the volume of the game. So you shouldn't have to worry about that anymore. I'm sorry that the first 3 or 4 videos, they were kind of hard to hear. Okay, and you see this green little slime bouncing up there? That is a slime knight. And that is also one of those recruitable monsters I was talking about, like Hackzilla is the green dinosaur with the axe that we saw in part 4. And that is another recruitable monster, and Hackzilla is actually a very useful one for quite a while. And again, that'll come into play a little bit later on in the Pick'em area, in the monster arena. Quite a fun little area, that is. But that Bubble Knight one, he sucks. But he drops a monster coin, So that's why in this walkthrough I'll also be showing you all of the recruitable monsters you can get, so you can get the monster coins for them, because they're worth quite a bit of money after you add them up. Now you can sort of see I branched off the road. That's because that T intersection that we passed earlier, we came back down the mountain and then went across the road like we were going back to Fairbury, but now we're going to turn to the southeast on this other side road. And this road will lead us right to the red tree. By the way, if I failed to mention this before, I'm not sure if I did or not. This is entirely optional. I suggest you do this. Not only for the reward now, but you'll also get a reward from him later if you do this now. But you can't do this anytime. This is pretty much the best time to do it. So yeah, you'll get quite a nice reward from him later on. And the reward he gives you now is not too bad. It doesn't seem very good, but it's not bad as far as the amount of money you have right now. It'll help you get started. Now we can see that red tree a lot closer up. Just make sure you stay on this road. There's another treasure chest on the way up there. I don't even show it to you, no point in it, because it's locked. You might have also noticed a couple places in Fairbury where I skipped over treasure chests. Oh my goodness, treasure chests, really? Treasure chests. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, people, I'm sorry. And that's also because those are locked, and you may remember the thief's key from part 2. That'll help you unlock those. There's 3 keys in this game. Okay, so now we're at the red tree, and hit X, get his tool bag. But before we deliver that to him, we're going to turn to the southeast, run into this group of trees over here. We have a nice long battle coming up here. I've watched this a couple times before commentating on it. I don't do that for every video, by the way, just to let you know. Those bunny corns right there kind of piss me off too. They can get kind of annoying because they attack constantly. You know, again, you don't have a whole lot of HP to work with at this point in the game, so... You know, when they're hitting for 3s or 4s each time, just constantly, it can be kind of difficult. And as you can see, I really need to heal. I'm just going to put that off as long as possible, just to show off. Just to get you on the edge of your seat so you're like, oh my god, he's gonna die, and then I'm not, because I'm just cool like that. Okay, so, let's see. After this incredibly long battle is done with, you do get some nice experience for it. We're going to continue on to this chest. Open that sucker up. Get 82 gold, a nice little amount for this point in the game. And then we're going to head on back to the old man's house at the top of the hill. I'm going to get this battle in on this part, and then we'll be done with part 6. And in part 7... we will move on to getting the tool bag to the guy on top of the hill. Okay guys, again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned for part 7 of my incredibly awesome walkthrough.